Here's a really cool study for a newbie to guitar. It's The Story by Brandi Carlile. It's a really nice song to play. Opens up with this tune, I'm sure you recognize it. 2 and 3 and 4 and then later you got your chords going. But we'll break that down step by step. The first thing we want to do is look at the introduction, which means we're going to look at this part. And as you notice there, everything is largely open strings. And an open string is a string that you play when none of these fingers are actually playing a fret. And at the end of the phrase, my first finger goes onto fret number 1 on the second string. But let's take you through the picking sequence first. We mentioned everything is open strings. So that means your fretting hand is doing nothing yet. You're starting on the 4th string and you're playing string 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3. And after you've done that, you put the first finger down as we showed you when we zoomed out earlier, and you pluck that note. So if you put the whole thing together, it's going to sound like this. And if you zoom out and you want to play along with me, are you ready? String number 4, open strings for starters, 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the song starts. The chords G, D, E minor and C, nice basic chords, the chords that we should probably be learning when you're starting guitar for the first time. But let's take you through the picking pattern first. Now, I'm assuming you know what the G chord looks like, just for a quick recap. Fingers 3 and 4 at the bottom, all 3 depending which version of G you like. Finger 1 is on the 5th string, ring finger to the top, and there's my basic G. And on the picking pattern, I'm going to start on the 6th string, 4th string, down, down, up. Okay, now it's going to go like this. Or slow motion, 6th string, 4th string, down, up. It's as simple as that. Now when we change over to the D chord, I'll give a breakdown of the chords more in detail now for those that aren't too sure. D just quickly, fingers 1 and 2 on strings 3 and 1 in the 2nd fret, ring finger to string 2 in the 3rd fret. And your picking pattern is similar but not the same. In other words, you're doing the same sort of sequence but from different strings. You're going to go string 4, 3, down, up, 4, 3, down, up. And I'd also like us to know as well that for the first 4 lines on the PDF file that I sent through with us, all the chords get played through 4 times. So it's G's 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 D's. And onto E minor and such. But for the E minor chord, we can play it with fingers 1 and 2 on strings 5 and 4, or you can use fingers 2 and 3 as well, depending what your personal favorite is for E minor. I like 1 and 2 because when I go to the C chord, my middle finger, finger number 2, doesn't have to move. E minor, and you'll see when I transition across to the C chord, my middle finger stays put. Now on the picking pattern for E minor, we would normally go 6, 4, but I think it sounds nicer to rather play it from the 4th, because it leads better from the D to the E. So it's just a suggestion, not a must. And then the C chord, we're going to go 5, 4. So 4 times on each chord. I'm going to change the angle of the video quickly. And we can see the chords nice and clearly now as well as the picking hand in the corner here. And we're going to slowly take you through G, D, E minor and C. 4 times on each chord. Now, if you pluck a wrong string, which I might or might not do intentionally or maybe not, please don't stop. That's a very important lesson. Keep your rhythm going. You're allowed to make a mistake. You're human. If Eric Clapton can make a mistake on the rare occasion, I guess we can too. Okay, first of all, G, I'm going to count us in and we're going to go through 2 and 3 and 4 and C. And for those that paid attention, you would have noticed that on the E minor I accidentally stroked the 5th string instead of the 4th. That was honestly a mistake, but we didn't stop and it still sounded good. Very important to know that. Now, once you've done the G, D, E minor, C, and she goes to, but the stories don't mean anything, when you've got no one to tell them to, when she sings those words, you play the same chords, same sequence, but twice on each time this time. So if you go about the stories, 2 and 3 and 4 and... but it's true, and it's finishing off 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So let's that ring there. Now I want to take you through the entire verse, you and I together, so we can get used to the 4 times in a row, the twice in a row, and stopping in that last G when she sings I Was Made For You. Now I'm not going to sing because I'd like you to come back to my other videos as well, but let's have a go there. Are we ready with the G? Like I said, G can be with fingers 3 and 4 or just the 3rd finger. The both actually are quite correct. 2 and 3 and 4 and... and 3 and 4, and the 2 and 3 and 4 count that I did now is to give us time before leading into the 2nd verse. It's actually sort of a no chord situation there with there's a pause if you listen to the original. Now the 2nd verse starts off with the same 4 G's, but when she goes from across the mountaintops, you'll see there in blue italic it says picks up tempo. It's actually more goes loud, should be the correct word there, because she goes into swim across all the ocean blue, and the D chord is just not going to go. You just strum down on everything like that the whole way through. Just get those chords working really, really loud. Now, if you do power chords, that would be first place, because you need electric guitar first of all, but you could do this, and you'll notice my guitar sound changes quite a bit. My D would now sound like this. Nice and noisy, but I'm assuming that you don't have an electric guitar. So all you do is play the same acoustic chords that you did on your acoustic. It's going to sound really cool as well. If you watch the video, she plays it with an acoustic guitar, and it's the backup guitar. There's more than one guitar playing. It's the backup guitar that does that heavy overdriven part. And you just go to swim across the oceans. So let's take the whole verse in context. You're going to have G. And there you go loud. 2 and 3 and 4 and... There's your C. And you'll notice a bit of extra upstrum inside there. Now, twice on each chord. And the song just plays itself out like that. No sort of tricks, nothing fancy. It's just a really nice, feel-good song. Now there is a solo at the end as well, but I'm not going to go into the solo now. There's a part that goes. That'll do on the next video later for those that would like to learn the solo. The purpose of this was more for those that are starting guitar and just like a really good vocal song. It's there to refresh the chord shapes, your G's, again if you're not sure, D's, E minors and C's, you can play lots with these chords. We've got a nice intro. And be careful not to rush the song. It's a really slowed layback song, and I'm happy you're going to enjoy playing it. I've played it in quite a few bands. It's a really pretty song. And any questions, drop me a WhatsApp, happy to help. And otherwise, have a great week. Thank you. Cheers.